Welcome back to another episode of Roundball. I have a feeling it's going to be a little of a depressing episode, but hey, before that, I want to talk to you guys about who presents this podcast, and it's High Noon Hard Seltzer. It's real vodka, it's real juice, presented by myself, who had a couple of high noons this weekend with all the sports going on. It's probably the best, in my opinion, one of the best sports times: college basketball, NFL playoffs, college football just ended. The best thing about the high noon is that it's not any of this malt liquor nonsense from other companies that try and pass this on. It's real vodka and it's real juice, so that's why it tastes so good. There's no tomfoolery with this place. So go get your black cherries, go get your watermelon, go get all your flavors, because High Noon Hard Seltzer is the best drink in the game. You have to go to a liquor store to get it because it's real vodka, and you can't get it in any of these other nonsense places. So go get your High Noon Hard Seltzer and go watch some college basketball, NFL, whatever it is, and tweet it at us. All right. Today, first of all, you know how Jordan says, like, Hunter, I know you're looking at your phone. Like,
Yeah.
when you don't answer, this fucking guy it just doesn't answer at all. It's like, bro, I what time did I text last night? Like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock?
Yeah.
I'm going to say Jordan at least an answer. This guy doesn't answer for shit. It's unbelievable. You think he's in the NBA?
I'm telling you, we're gonna lose him if he gets that 10-day, Marty. We're gonna
Oh, 10-day. He's starting his own podcast. All right. Let's get straight into it. We haven't talked for a while. But let's start with Thursday. You played Purdue. You lost 75-70. You were in it the whole game. You were in it. It was a little bit of a skid in the second half, but you were in that game. You and Edie were trading punches. When he just is anywhere near the basket, that ball goes in the hoop. It's fucking insane. So first, did you talk to Edie at all? Like, did you talk to him anything about the podcast?
Yeah, no, right before the game, there was a huge delay because our game was supposed to start at 9. They pushed it back to 9:12, and then when we
Oh,
got
because there was a game on before, yeah.
yeah, and so there was when both teams were out there waiting for the jump ball, there was a good 3 to 4 minute delay. And so usually when I come out, I'm not going to talk to I'm not going to talk to the opposing big usually. Usually I'm just sitting there unless they say something to me. I'm not going to be overly I'm not going to try to start a conversation with him before the game. But he came up to me, he was talking about the podcast, and he said what you said, I see it on TikTok and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, man, you gotta come on. He's like, yeah, but man, I don't really do podcasts. I'm like, but I saw you do Rico's thing, so you got to come on here. And so I don't know if he'll come on, but I was telling him
What did he say when you said you saw him on that one?
He I don't know what he said. I think he was mumbling, but
he's probably like, "Fuck, you saw that?"
yeah. Come on, Zach. But no, I mean he was he was actually talking about it at halftime, right after halftime too.
What did he say? Like, what, am I too tall?
He asked how long we've been doing it for, and stuff. I'm like, Zach, you're asking all these questions. How about you come on?
You can just come on the podcast and ask these questions.
Exactly, but yeah, no, I mean, podcast's been a big topic of debate for a lot of opposing crowds, especially Penn State. I got a lot of rave reviews about it from them.
I would like to hear about that in a second, but let's talk about Zach Edey for 1 second. I mean, listen, watching, you both had your way. Like, you were hitting threes. You can kind of do what you wanted on him. They were double teaming you, actually, which was crazy to see when Zach Edey's on you. Like, there was no double teaming Zach Edey, but they double teamed you at some points, which I was not all the time, but I was confused by that. But obviously it worked. But with Zach Edey, when he's backing you down, there's not much you can do. There really isn't, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're just hoping he misses, really. Like at that point when because he's just taller and his arms are longer, so it's like you're not really gonna block his shot unless unless you're like Cliff from Rutgers.
Yeah.
And so you're just hoping that you push him out far enough on the block to where he doesn't get that one dribble and he's like right at the rim to where he can just lay it in. You're hoping that he has to shoot it from a little bit further away. And like you said, like we weren't going to double team him because that's what you don't want the other guys to try to affect the game. And so that was our game plan going in, not to double team him. But yeah, like you said, like when I would catch the ball on the block, they would double team me.
Were you surprised by that?
No, because they've done it. They did it last year as well.
Oh.
So, like I wasn't really surprised by it. Like even though
Kind of crazy though, where it's like Zach, you're not double teaming the biggest guy on the court, but they're double teaming you. I mean, it kind of makes sense to double team you, especially without Jett. Like you don't have a ton of players they're not shooting great right now.
Yeah, no, for sure. I understand the logic, but I would have liked to go 1-on-1. I mean, obviously they don't want that, so that's why they
Oh, wait a second. Before we start, keep going with Purdue. Well, what the fuck happened with Jett? Everyone that's listening, this guy texts me all day. He goes, listen, wait till 5:45. He's playing. Jett told me he's playing. So I say, breaking, Jett Howard is playing today. And then all of a sudden, I get a text at 8 p.m. saying, Marty, we have a problem. And once I got that, I'm like, oh, my God, he's not playing, is he? So,
Yeah.
what, he out there and shoot around?
Yeah, no. So he didn't practice 2 days before, which is normal if you have an injury because it's like you don't really need to practice 2 days before. It's really the day before is when you need to get a couple reps of guarding the other team's plays and stuff like that. So he went out there and he was in the practice. He wasn't 100% in the practice, but he was in the practice. And so I was like, okay. And then I seen him after we both got our haircuts together. And so I'm like, Jett, like, can I break the news on the podcast? He was like, yeah. And so like, I'm like pretty good assumption that he's playing. And then like, everything that I'm seeing, then he goes through shoot around. And he's walking around, he's going through it. He's limping a little bit, but like I'm thinking, it doesn't look too bad. So it's like, I'm thinking everything's straight. And then when we get back to the locker room, I went and got my Chipotle, came back, and then like Ian, who's been on the pod, was like, Hunter, you're gonna be hated. And I'm like, why? He's like, because Jett's not playing. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, oh my God. I was just bamboozled by my own source.
By the source. It's not even by.
It wasn't really his fault. I think Jawan pulled the plug on it. I think he saw that Jett was limping a little bit, and obviously, like we don't want Jett to be like, we don't want to make the injury worse.
No, it's more important for him to play the rest of the season than
like even though we lost, like I didn't want Jett to go out there and like play when he didn't when he didn't absolutely think he could come out there and play for us. Like we didn't want him being like 50% out there, 75%. We wanted him 100% just for him, his health, and his future and stuff like that. So, it was just for next time. We'll be better with confirming, but I think that was a game time decision that we tried to get ahead of. And
I think it's kind of fucking funny. Like, that's just at this point in our podcast, just like things are not going right for your team. For us, that's just what's gonna happen.
Yeah. I tried to tell Marty. I was like, Marty, we can spin this and be like, we were just trying to throw off Purdue.
I said that, and people were like, "You don't know shit." I was like, whatever. Yeah, but I mean, with Jett, I think you guys win. I think that's where it's confusing with your team right now because you see that you can play with. It's literally right now the best team in the country, which I don't believe that they are. they're very, very good. I don't think they're number one team, but they are. They're number one team right now. You would think that confidence would have rolled over to Sunday. But before we go to Penn State, was there anything else that you was notable from the Purdue game?
It's just I would just say, I mean, I guess this can segue into Penn State. It's like I, the frustrating part about the team is just like how we can go from losing to Purdue by 5 at home, where it's like, I don't think anybody would say it wasn't a winnable game for us. I feel like everybody watching would say we had a chance to win. To just going on the road to Penn State and then having Jett back and just getting blown out is just it's just frustrating.
If I told you that you lost by 5 at Purdue, which that's what I was saying. Like you'd think you'd have a little more confidence in your team, being like, oh shit, we're there. Like we can play with anybody, especially without your best shooter. And then all of a sudden, Penn State Jett starts like 5 of 5 from 3, which is outrageous.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, they went on an 18-0 run. Like because that you guys haven't won a road game yet, right?
No, Minnesota.
Minnesota.
People will say, does that really count? I think
It counts, but they're not very good.
Well, I mean, but they went. I mean, like, not
They
going to
beat
try
Ohio State.
Yeah, I was about to say they beat Ohio State when on the road. So
No, listen, any road game is tough in conference, but still, you guys got to get that road win. So what are you? You're 500 in conference right now.
Yeah.
February is obviously ginormous. You guys aren't in the tournament right now. You got blown out by Penn State, which you went 1-1 against them, so that's fine. But honestly, what is said in the locker room after like you guys there was no chance of winning that game. It was close at one. What was it, 31-30 you said?
It was 31-30, and then they went on an 18-0 run to end the half.
Yeah, that's insane.
All right, 18-2 run maybe to end the half.
Yeah, because Kobe hit one at the end. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was 49.
It was 49-32.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, like when you let a team score 49 points, even if you're scoring too, like you're probably going to be down at half. I mean, that was like the one thing we wanted to prevent was them hitting threes. We knew like if they're hitting threes and then they have Pickett there too, like it's just going to be really hard for you to try to win that game. And I think they ended up being like 13 of 28, but I think they missed their last like 5 threes. So they were really like 13 of 23, like when the game was really like the balance, like not in the balance, but like when the walk-ons weren't in and stuff like that. So they were shooting above 50% from 3 and made 13 of them. Like I don't think any team in the country would beat them when they're shooting like that. It was just I think as the players, we just weren't dialed in. I think guys were just not following the game plan, including myself. We were just out there.
You didn't play in most of the second half, right?
Yeah. I think I came out with like 11 minutes, maybe a little bit more, maybe like 12 minutes.
Is it just because it was like, what's the reason to have them in? Because they're not going to get in, or did you get benched?
Yeah, I'd probably say, we were probably down like 25-30 at that point. Jawan probably wanted to give T. Reed some reps, see if that, created a spark and, created some type of, like I said, spark to get us, a couple points. But, that's what Jawan felt was the best. And so, we're going to go with that.
So what is like, is this locker room just silent after being like, what just happened? Like I always as a fan wondered like what could possibly be said in that locker room after that big of a loss.
Yeah, no, for me, I would say it's really nothing you can say. I think there was some heart to hearts, from people who were, trying to get frustrated. People were getting their frustrations out, and stuff like that. It wasn't really like what we can do in that game. It was more what we need to do going forward and how we need to approach the game and stuff like that. And just keeping it real with one another. And I think that was really helpful. Hopefully, the guys took that to heart. I did for sure. And hopefully, we'll be able to carry that on to the next game and try to, jumpstart something and get something going.
I mean, and like the next game's fucking ginormous.
Yeah.
At Northville, like these are the next 3 games are very winnable.
Yeah, because the 3 are all tournament teams, right?
Well, it's at Northwestern, which they're a tournament team right now.
Yeah. Ohio State, I think, is in the tournament.
Ohio State has some good wins, and they have the same record as you.
But I think somebody put them in the tournament.
Yeah, like they can definitely be in because I know they beat some good teams early, and then you play Nebraska. So at Northwestern's a good win.
Yeah.
Ohio State and then Nebraska. If you win these 3 games, like you're on a roll, and then it's a tough. You play Indiana at home, Wisconsin at home, Michigan State at Wisconsin. Sorry, Michigan State at home, at Rutgers, and then Wisconsin at home. So it's like it's a little tough after that. Even though I think you can be better than Wisconsin. These next couple, every game is important now because you're not in the tournament. So like these are important fucking games.
Yeah, I think a lot of people will be like, okay, this is bad for Michigan that they have this many hard games coming up. But when you're in the position that we're in, like that's the best thing we can hope for is having a ton of really good teams because that's the only way we're going to be able to boost our resume. And so, yeah, obviously we can't, start circling in wins and stuff like that because of the position we're in. So we're just going to try to take it one game at a time.
But I think it's good that you play these type of teams early in February, and then it's like the gauntlet because obviously every one of those teams can beat you 100%. I think anyone in the Big Ten can beat each other because it's just the same fucking thing every year. We do the same song and dance every year with the Big Ten. But so how did it feel to be getting screamed overrated at?
It brought me back to high school. I was not like shocked, but I was like, oh, because usually that's a high school champ, but
because at this point, you're very properly rated.
Yeah. Well, I think they were talking about me. I don't think they were talking about the team.
No, I know they were talking about you.
Yeah. Somebody on Twitter. I was scrolling through Twitter, even though I probably shouldn't have. Like I try to be really careful on Twitter after the game, but they were like, who are they screaming overrated at? Michigan's 11-10. But I mean,
Definitely.
I think when somebody screams overrated at you, I think that is a good indicator that you're pretty good.
Fact. That's I always think that as well. Like if you're thinking enough about me to say overrated, that means that I'm at least 1 in your head. 2, you thought I was good at least at one point.
Yeah, exactly.
Did they say anything else? Was there any other good chirps?
They talked about the podcast, about how they all love the podcast and love you, Marty. Big fans of you.
Yeah, I'm sure they said that.
They can't wait for the next episode, and so hopefully they tune in. And
has anyone said anything about me yet? Like fuck Marty
or
something?
Yeah, they said they're gonna cancel your contract after this game. They're gonna Marty's not gonna have a job. Yeah, they talked about you. They said, they said a couple words that I'm not gonna say on the air, but you got some love from the crowd.
Love, or it sounds like it was hate.
Well, yeah, it was probably a little bit of hate.
Hey, that's awesome though. That's literally why I did this. I want
you're expanding your fandom, Marty.
What?
I said you're expanding your fan base.
Yeah, exactly. People, I have Penn State people yelling not just at you about me, and you're probably like, I don't give a fuck what happens. It's fucking funny though. All right, that's enough, Michigan. Michigan, let's be honest. I can't suck your dick too long, Hunter. Michigan sucks right now. You guys suck right now. It's just what it is. You gotta. Those are two. The one was like kind of an expected loss. In as a fan, it's like you lose the number one team in the country. No one's like, oh, this team sucks. It's just what happens. But the Penn State one is tough. But when's the game? Thursday?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Thursday.
Thursday at Northwestern. It's a big one. It's a big one, and you
That
already
is a big one. That
you
is a
beat
big
them
one.
already, right?
Yeah, we beat them at home.
Yeah. So I mean, at least you know you can do it. So,
That is a very huge game for us. If we don't win that game, it could be really bad.
yeah, 100. You don't want to go under 500 in conference. All right, let's talk about some other games, and we'll get you guys at it. We'll get everyone out of here. Alabama, Oklahoma. I had this circled on my.
Yeah.
I went Oklahoma money line. I went Oklahoma because I was like, you know what? This game means everything to Oklahoma. Alabama has fine. They're 19-2 or whatever they are. This they lose this game, it's whatever. If Oklahoma wins this game, they're back on the map. They blew the fucking doors off Alabama. The doors off them. Did you watch any of that game?
I did see some of it. I think we were going into practice because it was on Saturday, right?
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
Saturday,
So
middle of
we
the
were
day.
getting. I was getting taped and stuff like that, and they were just getting waxed.
Bro, 93-69. Sherfield, 30 points. And the crazy thing is that they kept Brandon Miller 414, 11 points. Like, that's what. Listen, this doesn't do anything for me of Alabama. Like, yeah, Alabama's still really fucking good. When they're clicking, it's not even close. They're one of the best teams in the country. But I think this game showed you that they aren't always clicking. They're gonna have an off game, and they fucking got smacked in the mouth by Oklahoma. And Oklahoma, this is why I think the Big 12 is the best conference. Oklahoma is 2-6 in the Big 12. 2-6.
Yeah, I mean that's like, yeah, no, that was a huge upset. That was something that I was not expecting to come into the TV. Like you said, that could be, an overlooked spot. A team like Alabama, who's everybody thinks, has a case for being number one. Uh, coming at their because they were at home, right?
Oklahoma was at home.
Uh, Going on the road to a team that's like you said 2-6 in another conference. I think that just like I think there is a part of you looking ahead, but like I go back to this take playing a non-conference team is so much harder because you have like especially in the middle of the season, like you have 3 to 4 days to try to game plan for a team that you've never played before. Like you don't usually like if you when you're playing Michigan State, like we have a game plan that we know that has worked
Mhm.
against them, and so it's like we're going to go with the game plan that has worked. We the players might not execute it all the way, or they just might beat it, but we know that game plan has worked before. Alabama was trying something that has never worked before, and so they don't know if it's going to be successful. And obviously, Oklahoma came out there and Grant Sherfield played great, and so I think that was just going back to my take of these non-conference games are super, super, just not random, but you can't really get a gauge for it because it's
That's
so hard to scout.
Yeah, and that's why March Madness is always so fucking crazy because you've never seen these teams before. You have about 3 days to prepare for them, or the next time you play someone, you have a day to prepare for them. You can't prepare for it. That's why it's so fucking nuts. Another game, West Virginia beat Auburn, which another West Virginia who's 2-6 in the Big 12 beats number 15 Auburn. A great win for West Virginia who needed it. Eric Stevenson, fucking that guy was going berserk. 7 of 10 from three. Um, The Big 12 SEC challenge was pretty much all Big 12 besides a couple of games that were surprising. One was surprising. Mississippi State beat TCU
Oh yeah,
in overtime.
Brandon Walker.
Brandon Walker, Mississippi State team. Mississippi State's an interesting team, bro. They're an interesting team because they play lights out defense, lights out. And the fact that they can beat TCU in that game shows you, like, all right, they're actually not too bad. I was watching the game, and the guy's a wild Tolu Smith was fucking. He
Oh, yeah.
missed 2 shots. He missed 2 shots all game, and TCU's been hot. Like they they just beat the shit out of Oklahoma. They beat the shit at Kansas. Like 2 games that are big games for them, and then Mississippi State comes in and beats them. So um, there was a lot of Saturday was an unbelievable card, to be honest. Unbelievable card. I'll run through a couple more games and who I really like. Arkansas Baylor. Arkansas is banged up, and they lost to Baylor by 3. Like Arkansas is a weird ass team where they have the talent. Like this year, Duke and Arkansas were the 1 and 2 recruiting classes,
Yeah.
and they're both around the same area right now. Like Duke's like 15-6. They're Arkansas's 14-7. They don't have Nick Smith, who's obviously their best player, and I think someone else is also is out. But Arkansas, I think, will be fine. But Baylor is confusing to me because Flo Thamba is my favorite player. You know why?
The name Flo Thamba.
Flo is an amazing name. And then this is his stat line: 26 minutes, 0 points, 6 rebounds. Oh, he had 3 points. I'm sorry, but he didn't shoot the ball once. I guess he got fouled. He didn't shoot the ball once, Hunter, in 26 minutes.
That's pretty impressive. I'm not gonna lie.
That man just knows his role. That's fucking crazy.
He truly knows his role.
And what I saw from this game was Keontae George. Like, obviously, he's one of the best freshmen. He didn't play well in the beginning. He was playing awful, but when it mattered, he made fucking incredible shots, and that's where you know this guy's going to be fucking. He's going to be legit in the NBA, and he's going to be legit in March Madness. Your team, Charleston.
Well, Jordan just went off and just said, I hate Charleston, which is not true. I said it was good for college basketball that a mid-major was able to be ranked. But then I think this just goes to show you, like, well, I think for Charleston it's hard because it's like when you're a ranked team, you were 21-1 at the time.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to give you your best game. You have to play so good every game. I think that goes part to Gonzaga too, where it's like it is a little hard for Gonzaga because when you're a top,
on your back.
like Gonzaga's got to be like everybody's going to give them their best game, and so you have to give your best game every game, or there's gonna you're going to lose like Charleston did, and so I think it was good for them to kind of get a reset, like a reality check going into February, March, where I think how many losses would they have to have for them to be able to make the tournament without winning the conference? I think they could if they go undefeated for the rest of the season and then lose the tournament. I think they'd still make it.
Yeah, I do too. I think they could maybe afford one more loss. But I understood what you meant, where it's like, yes, it is good for college basketball, seeing Charleston ranked 18th. It's like, all right, why the fuck are they ranked 18th? But say Michigan lost to Hofstra. That's an awful loss. Like, people would be like, what the fuck? Or like, say that Alabama lost to Hofstra. It's like, but now it's just because it's Charleston. It's like, oh, it's Charleston. That's what I think you meant, because it's good for it. They should be ranked if you have one loss, but it's also like, if anyone else lost to Hofstra, everyone would be like, the world would end.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it.
At home. Charleston was home.
They were at home too.
Yeah. Couple more games. Miami. This is good for you. Pitt beat Miami. That win's getting
That is
better, Hunter. That
that
win's
that is a
getting better.
quad one win. That is a quad one win.
You guys are begging for one quad one win.
That's a quad
Um,
one win, man. I'm so happy with that win.
so there's a team I want to talk about because I've been kind of done on them, but I'm completely changed everything. And I think that Creighton is a very, very fucking good team. Creighton is hitting their stride. Because you remember early on they were getting their dick
They
sucked,
were
like
struggling.
yeah, and they were getting it like they're everyone's gonna be so good, whatever. Um, they kind of hit they beginning of January they beat Seton Hall, then they lost at UConn and Xavier, but then they Creighton has now rattled off beating Providence. They beat Butler, St. John's, and Xavier. Like they beat the shit out of all these teams. You know, I feel like they're really getting into their groove now. They're 13-8, and Xavier's an unbelievable team. I think they're very good. But who did I fuck? Oh, Kaluma. Arthur Kaluma was fucking killing it against Xavier. I just think that Creighton's a team you need to watch out for now.
Yeah, no, I think that was kind of a little bit misguided in the early season because I know their big man Ryan Kalkbrenner, I think his
Yeah,
last
yeah, yeah.
name is. He was hurt, and so when you have your big man hurt, it's obviously gonna be tough for you to win games, especially when they're playing against other really good teams that are gonna be attacking the rim and stuff like that. I know he's a shot blocker, rim protector, and so it's definitely makes it a lot harder for your team to win those games. And then once he comes back, you still can't fully expect him to be 100%. You know, guys are always going to come back early in college and try to, play through injuries probably when they shouldn't and when they're not 100%. So I think they're probably, back to 100% as a team. And this is when you want to start hitting your groove is, late January, even maybe mid February is when you really want to start making that push. Because if you have a really good February and you're really hot going into March, then you can make a little run, win 3 games, and you're sitting at an Elite Eight.
This is
And
what I was gonna say to you because when you're from high school to college, it's like a world different of a game,
oh yeah,
right? And so Duke, I gotta get my Duke takes off. Duke, they won by 40. They beat fucking Georgia Tech. They sucked. But seeing Lively, like, because he's a number one recruited guy in the country, like you just expect so many times Duke gets his number one guy, and it's Paolo who drops 25 every night, or like you get Jason Tatum or somebody that's like or Zion that's just takes over a game. At Lively, for the first time, I was like, oh, it seems like he's getting a little more comfortable and adjusted to the game, especially as a big man. I feel like it's different, right?
yeah. No, it can be extremely hard for a big man because for guards, like it's way easier for a guard to play like even up. Like Zion Harmon was playing EYBL 17 and under as a seventh grader because he was a guard, and so it's like it's way easier for a guard to play up than a big man because as a big man, like it's like the strength aspect is so much more involved.
Yep.
And so I could see him, struggling a little bit because it's like the people he's going against are like grown men and like older guys. And so when you're coming in as a freshman and you're expected to be as strong as like a 22 or 23-year-old like older
Especially in
guy.
the ACC, there's a lot of the big men have been there for 4 years. Like they're not one and done big men. So he's going up against men. You're right.
Yeah, like I know John from Pitt is he stepped away from basketball because I think because of injury or mental health, one of the two. But he is strong as hell. Like I remember going against him, I'm like, yo, this guy is a problem down on the low block. Then you got Armando, you got um, Florida State's got like 3 or 4
Yeah,
that are just
and they
huge.
almost beat Clemson this week. But yeah, it's just funny to see like he's finally getting it. Like Filipowski's probably a third best freshman in basketball this year. Like Duke's weird as fuck, man. We'll see. They play Wake Forest and then UNC on Saturday. So Saturday will be a big one for myself.
Is that at Duke or at UNC?
It's at Duke.
Oh yeah, that's a must win, Marty.
Yes, it's a
John
must.
Shire's first game.
Yep, it's a must win. Couple more. Your team that you said early on, I think is really, really fucking good. Tennessee beat Texas. You were right. They're 18-3. They have weird losses. They lost to Kentucky, which is fine. Colorado, and then I don't know their other loss. But they're good, man, because Texas is really good, and they beat them by 11. Tennessee, I can't say this guy's name. Oliver Kamahua. I don't know who
Oh, he actually went to a high school near me.
he's from Finland.
Yeah,
That's where I was like, what the fuck? But this guy's unbelievable. He was hitting everything. 12 of 15. Ziegler's fantastic. Tennessee beat Texas by 11, and they had 3 bench points. Crazy.
Damn, 3 bench points. That's
3 bench points.
That's pretty hard to do.
It's very hard to do. I'm a little impressed with Texas still. Like, obviously, everything that happened, and then all of a sudden, it's like they didn't really care. So they're still playing pretty well. But Tennessee's someone we really got to watch out for in the SEC. I think they are the best team. The fact Alabama is very top. SEC is very top heavy. Alabama, Tennessee, and then it's like Arkansas and Kentucky are kind of the same. And then I don't even know who else in the SEC, right? I'm blanking on somebody.
Alabama.
No, I see. I said them. Oh, and then another good story to end this. Kansas State played Florida, and Keontae Johnson. That it's not talked about enough. That like I rewatched the video. I think Champa tweeted it, and it was like the kind of the documentary a little bit on Keontae Johnson. It's like this guy was the guy on Florida, like the man. And when he just completely collapsed on his face. Like, it was scary as fuck. Like, I remember when he fell and the guy next to him was like this, and you knew it was serious. Still crazy they played that game. Crazy. They played the game. But to do that, like, literally going from like you were going to die to transferring to Kansas State and being their guy and like taking Kansas State to number 5 in the country is fucking crazy.
Yeah, no, the story is pretty wild. Like you said, like our guy collapsing next to you has got to be like one of the most just like crazy things of all time. I don't know what
like your boy too. Like that's your boy.
Yeah, that like just for him to be able to be alive is like he already won, and for him to come back and start killing at Kansas State, it's just. I mean, it's like it's one of those comeback stories that you can only root for the guy. Especially, he had to beat like allegations against him and stuff like that after he came back, and that's why a lot of schools weren't really recruiting him. But Kansas State took the chance, and I mean, it couldn't have paid off more for them.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the guy's fucking killing it, and Kansas State being 5 is always crazy. Kansas beat Kentucky, which is, of course, Kansas is still really fucking good. They lost a couple in a row, and people were a little off on them. Indiana beats Ohio State. Ohio State's been struggling, but Indiana kind of went on that skid, and then they beat Wisconsin. They beat Illinois. Am I still on here? Oh,
yeah, you're on here. You didn't even
what
lag
the
up.
fuck just happened? They beat they went on that little skid after like the Barstool fucking kind of was going after them, and then all of a sudden they started just winning again. So I have no idea. I can't understand Indiana whatsoever.
They're peaking at they're starting to play some really good basketball. They're starting to peak. I mean, they can just take all it needs to do is take a couple games where guys can get confidence. I mean, like Trace Jackson's playing out of his mind right now. I think he just had some crazy stat lines the last couple
Yeah,
games.
he actually
So
has.
I mean, he's making a case for Big Ten Player of the Year. Like I know everybody was like quick to give it to Zach Edey because like of how his whole season's been. But if you look at the stats for the Big Ten, I think Trace Jackson should be the Big Ten Player of the Year
Zach,
so
yeah.
far. So far,
So far, I mean, Zach Edey, I think, was against Michigan State last game. And he scored like 38 points, which was
he
outrageous.
did have 38 and like
Right
38.
now, it's still Edey, but I know what you mean. Like
I don't
Trace,
know, man. He look, yes, he had that crazy game, but I think Trace is averaging more points, more rebounds. He's like number 4 in the Big Ten in assists.
Trace is averaging a double double. Like he's averaging 19.6.
No. Wait, are you looking at the Big Ten stats?
Oh, I'm just looking like
Yeah,
uh,
no. His Big Ten stats, I think, are like 22 points, 14 rebounds, like 4 assists,
I
and
mean,
like 3
regardless,
blocks.
19 and 10 is outrageous. And
So
yeah, but like I said, Indiana lost to Iowa, Northwestern, and Penn State all back to back, all three in a row. Then beat Wisconsin, beat Illinois, beat Michigan State, beat Minnesota, beat Ohio State. Like that's just a run right there. And another team here I can't figure out is Illinois. Illinois, I think I'm going to say it. Wisconsin's bad. Wisconsin's not a good basketball team. Um, I think that they even know that. If they were being honest with themselves, Illinois beat Wisconsin 61-51. Illinois is 15-6. I just can't fucking understand them because I thought they were a Final Four team. They were, and then all of a sudden they'll have some stinkers. Did you see at one point there was like 7-6 with like 10 minutes left.
yeah, I saw that. That was that's just a defensive battle. I mean, that's a
That's bad. I don't give a
that's like
fuck.
you're just at that point you're just trying to like get to the rim and just try to get fouled and hopefully you can get to the free throw line because
Yeah.
you're just shooting bricks. I mean, I've been a part of some of those games where it's just super low scoring and it's just like I'm when I'm in the game I don't really realize it, but it's just like yeah, it's just a defensive battle. It's a defensive battle. You got to in the Big Ten. Those are some games where you got to grind it out defensively. You're not going to win offensively all the time. You got to grind it out defensively.
Sunday, I'm impressed with Providence. Providence, no matter what going to Villanova, even whatever year it's been for them. Jared Bynum, I think, is really fucking good. Hopkins is great. They're just Bynum had 19 off the bench. Like, I don't know. Providence is just Cooley's the fucking man. Just the way I think I'm gonna try and go to March 1st,
You should.
Providence Xavier. I think I'm gonna try and go to that. Champa just finally moved. He was like, "Oh my god, maybe I'll come." Last game I want to say is shout out Patrick McCaffrey. He came back, which was really fucking cool. It was a cool moment to have at home against Rutgers, and they won. They beat up on Rutgers a little bit. That's what I'm saying. This fucking Big Ten seems like it's just whoever's home is pretty much going to win.
Yeah, I mean, because that's why like after the Iowa game, we were talking about how important like those road wins are. Like if we would have got that Iowa win, obviously we would have still been, in some trouble and we still would have needed some wins. But like we would have been in a lot better position. So it's like trying to get those wins on the road are so key. That's why like you see guys going so crazy when they win on the road, even if it's like a like one of the upper teams beating like a middle of the pack team because it's just so important to get those wins because they're hard. Like a team playing at home, even if they're a middle of the pack team is super dangerous. And so
You feel like you're stealing one almost.
yeah. Even if like teams will probably expect you to win, you're still, I would say, stealing a win from a road team.
Yeah. All right, that's a show. Wait, are you an aliens guy?
Like, do I believe in aliens?
Yes.
Yeah. There's some type of life in this universe for sure.
All right, I want you to do a little research. You don't have a game till Thursday.
Yeah, we
So
got updated it.
Wednesday's recording. I want you to do a little research. I'm gonna if hopefully Jordan fucking comes. We're doing a little alien talk on Wednesday.
Oh, this is great.
I got a lot of takes I'd like to get off, and let's just say they're living in Antarctica and they're walking around this earth like there's no tomorrow. But I want a full deep dive into aliens a little bit because I've been dying to talk about it, and this is where I'm going to talk about it.
No, this is definitely going to be. People are definitely going to think we're. I mean, like I definitely have some strong takes.
I got some
so,
strong takes.
Yeah.
Some guy basically convinced me that smoking cigarettes is the key to living life longer.
Everybody's got their own way to try to say they found a way to live longer.
Facts. All right, that's a show. We'll be back Wednesday, hopefully with the full crew, and we'll see you guys then. See ya.
See you.